Hey everyone, I'm cooking something for tomorrow and I watched the mess and I felt better, so I thought I'll do something. And I boiled some pasta. I made my mushrooms. I just braised the mushrooms with a stick of rosemary, and now I'm making some mincemeat. So I've done my onions. I put in 2 cloves of garlic, and I put in 1-inch piece of ginger. So I'm just letting that cook, and then I'm gonna chop up 2 tomatoes, and I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of turmeric, paprika, coriander, and put the meat in. So I'll just show you how I'm doing it. And I was telling my friend Renee, I'm trying to get more women to follow me, to follow my channel on YouTube, because right now I've reached over 17,000 people, but it's mainly guys that are following me. And obviously, as a spiritual director, I want to try to get more women to follow me, not men. So I don't mind the men following me, but it would be better to actually have women. So I wasn't feeling hungry earlier, and I thought, instead of just sitting around waiting for the new year to come in, let me cook and get my food ready for tomorrow, and then I can put it in the fridge and keep it. I just had a cup of tea earlier, and because I'm not working, I didn't go out and buy anything, because really, if you don't have money, you shouldn't be buying anything. I'm just chopping up my tomatoes here. I like to keep myself occupied, otherwise it's just too depressing. When you're not working and then you're trying to do something with your life and everything keeps coming against you, it's very unpleasant. I'm just chopping up the tomatoes here. I'm just using 2 tomatoes. And I have this on a low heat because I don't want the onions to burn. So here I have my cumin, and I'm just going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. I've also got fresh chilies that I can use, but I haven't added those in yet. Coriander, I like to put in a teaspoon of coriander. Then my paprika, I like to put in a teaspoon of paprika. Can't reach that. Get a chip. This is my turmeric. When the bottles go too far back, then I have to get a chair because I'm short. And I have the tennis going on in the background. Australian Open. Put in a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. And then my cloves, I just put in 2 cloves. Cloves are also good for your teeth and things like that. And then my salt, I use coarse salt. So, put in a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm just gonna put in just the tip. It's like a pinch. I use my fingers actually, it's just for me. So just a pinch of black pepper. Black pepper is good for depression. So when I'm not working like this, I like to make sure I use black pepper on my food and things like that. So I put in very little oil on here. I might have to add a little more because it's a little too dry. Put in a little more. And this also gives me a way to pass the time while I'm waiting to bring in the new year, instead of just sitting there. Let's throw these in the garbage. It's the peels from the garlic that I used. This is my fresh ginger here. This is from the I buy and I keep these. So the reason I also decided to make the mince is because normally when I make pasta, I just use like those store-bought sauces. But I didn't have any, so I thought let me just make this mince. I was going to make shepherd's pie anyway. So just open this. I'm just going to wash my hands. So I washed my hands and I'm drying them because I'm going to use my hands to crumble the mince. And I kept this out. I took this mince out yesterday to defrost it. So I like to break it up before I put it in. And I like to cook, so I'm lucky that way. I don't just sit around like wasting my day. That's gone in there. And then over here is this is my sink over here. Let's see if it can stand. And I'm just going to wash my hands again. I miss my Zimbabwe, our house parties that we used to have. They were nice, but that's okay. And then I'm just drying my hands again. I keep my dish towel. This is what we used to do in Zimbabwe as well. Like Christmas time, you can be cooking and baking and all that until midnight because there's so many things to make and to do. So I'm just stirring in the mince now and letting all the masalas get absorbed into the mince. And I don't use too much masalas. I like to taste it so I don't have it too hot. Then here I have my 3 green chilies. So I'm just going to chop them up very fine. What I also do with them, I de-seed them. Sometimes I don't chop them up. I de-seed them and then I put them in. But today I'm going to chop them up very fine. And I'm going to put them in. And the onions I had today were not too strong, so my eyes were fine. Sometimes the onions are strong and your eyes land up watering. But today the ones I had were not too bad. So that's the three chilies. You can see that's like 1 teaspoon. 2, just like 2 and a little bit. And I put that in. And then I'm going to turn the heat up. I have the heat just on that. So I'm going to turn it up so it's a little higher so it can cook. And that's the meat in there. And then at least this is done for tomorrow. I can have it. That's how I like to do it. I could have done it tomorrow as well, but since I'm sitting around, I thought let me just do it. And I can add the tomatoes in now. up as I'm going. That is cooked, and now I'm just going to add in the tomatoes. And then I can cover this pot. I lowered the heat back down to medium, and I'll just let that cook, and then tomorrow I can add my pasta and this, and I'll add the mushrooms in there once the tomatoes cook down. So I'll just show you. I added that in there. This was the mushrooms that I made, and then I just boiled some pasta. So that's it. I'm done. And then I put everything in the dishwasher. I have a dishwasher here in my unit, so I can put everything in the dishwasher. And then I can just leave this here. That's my spoon just to mix. So that's it. I feel better after I watch the mess. It helps me stay positive. So that's what I did, and then I decided, let me cook something instead of just sitting in front of the television waiting for the new year. Connection there. I'm going to end this.